This is Ghost of Tsushima. We're doing a tips and tricks, kind of going over mechanics of gameplay in order to better understand the experience for mostly those starting out, but also for those that are perhaps a little bit more advanced with the game. So first of all, we've got our main character here. You can sprint with the left stick, jump with X, and we also have the ability to crouch with the right stick. And then once you're in the right stick, you can also click in the middle touchscreen, and that will give you a sort of optional hearing bar. So this is where you can see where enemies are or regular characters. So those are friendly characters for seeing them outlined. You can also hear things more zoomed in with this mode. It's quite helpful. Now some of the abilities we show off will be unlocked as you play. So a lot of the combat in the game is done through this special stance system. So you unlock stances as you take out leaders. So if you are having troubles with the game difficulty wise, it is suggested that you liberate some camps in order to get better stances. So stone stance is great for swords, water stance is great for shields, wind stance is great for spikes or spears or pikes, so basically long sticks with pointy edges that will attack you. And we've got square for the moon stance, which is great for the brutes, which are the bigger characters. Each one has a unique combative style to it, and a lot of it comes down to your triangle attack being the main breaker for the basically character shield. Not the physical shield they have, but the character shield. And once you break that, you're then able to jump in there and use square to do quick attacks. So we're just kind of talking about that first because there are some other mechanics I want to go over. And then we're going to go and actually battle some people. So in the game, a lot of what you're doing in order to improve your character is through resource collection. And I had a stick of bamboo waiting here. So basically, as you're moving around, there's these shiny kind of things that get highlighted. I don't know where I missed that. And you're actually able to easily click on them in order to gather that potential resource, and I don't know how I even missed that. Oh, kind of like right here, so you get these highlighted options. Well, that's rest, but you'll see things such as linen cloth or other materials that you can collect, and then you go up to a merchant. Here we go. You can go up to a merchant, which are available on your map, and from there you can actually get the upgrade that you want for, say, your sword, or you can see an armor, you can see the various upgrade options you have. So you really do need to upgrade your gear constantly. They give you different abilities, different options, and the technique trees are where you're going to get your different abilities for the different classes that are present within the game. And you continuously level them up. You use flowers that you collect in the environment to talk to merchants. So if you want to run around, and hopefully, I don't think any of this has been too spoilerish, even though we are in the end game right now. You can use your horse. You can call your horse at any point using left on the D-pad. That's also where you get into a camera mode. Or you can also heal yourself clicking down. You have to use the yellow circles in the bottom left. That is how you are able to heal, and you refill those by attacking enemies. So in the game you have a bunch of secondary options too. So this is by holding down L2, and that will pull up your bow or your hotkeyed item. So you see on the right hand side we do have a number of options we can also switch between. So we can go to our over to throw, and we can switch between wanting to use wind chimes or black powder. And you can see that we have this sort of aiming system for thrown objects. And then we also have the blow dart with the poison dart. Well, it's a blow gun with a poison dart, but you get the gist of it. So that menu is also present from holding down R2. So you can see our stances there, something we've done before. But we didn't talk about the left side. So we also have additional kind of abilities that we can quick use, such as the kunai, which are little knives you can throw in order to distract enemies. Very, very, very helpful sort of things. So we're going to jump on our mounts. So with the mounts, you can kind of actually jump over a lot of things. You can jump down into various areas. But you will kind of get knocked off your horse, and you can quickly get back on your horse if you are having any problems within the game, if you're jumping off horses off of large locations. So we're going to go and we want to liberate this village. So we select it on the map. And once it's selected, we can actually stroke up on the touchpad, and the wind will guide you where you're going to go. So that's actually pretty cool. Another neat thing is if you need to get to certain high points or you need to attack enemies, you can actually jump off your horse and do like a slash attack if that's something you want to do. This is the hiding system, so if there's enemies nearby, you can hide in this type of flora, this type of, I guess it's like a grass plant, but this is what you can hide within, and your enemies will not see you. You'll be completely hidden within that option, and that's kind of really as far as the stealth mechanics go. Now, the stealth isn't super high developed when you start off in the game. You actually do need to get various abilities in order to be more effective in that regard. Oh, there's a wild animal over there. We don't want to deal with that. So we're coming over here to this village. We want to liberate the village. So we click in our touchpad there so we can actually get an idea of where these particular enemies are. So we're seeing them highlighted here. We're in our tracked location. We got different objectives we have to deal with. A really cool thing is if there is hostages, sometimes your enemies will actually get sort of hotkeyed on them. You'll see two swords above their head. So when the two swords are above their head, that means they're going to be distracted going to execute someone, and you're able to easily take them out. So if you're noticing there, what's happening is I am sort of getting detected. So that detection ring will fill up as the enemies see you. So you have to be careful. You have to be smart because other enemies might see you attack other guys. So we're seeing that kind of be highlighted. So the game actually does offer quite a lot in regards to stealth and being sneaky. So you can crawl under things, you can crawl above things, and it's really quite neat in regards to the options you have for taking out your opponents. And we could do things like a stealth attack and everything like that, which we're going to begin doing in a sec. I just kind of want to go over the various mechanics in regards to movement. And a lot of the time, I don't know if this is a good time to do this, you can actually get onto the roofs of buildings. And you can climb across the buildings. When you get to the later areas, there's usually like a little wire that you're able to kind of climb across, and that will allow you to reach different locations faster. So this guy, he's quite in the open. This is where the creedness of this game comes from. Oh, I was going to get him. I needed to get lower because I couldn't detect onto him. But yeah, I wanted to do the whole stealth attack, which is still a good idea from here. So you don't have this right away, but once you do, you can assassinate an opponent. And what's hilarious is your enemies will kind of like rush over to see what's happening. They'll freak out. It's very entertaining. And we're doing this from like a bit of a cheeky stealth style because, you know, I have all this stuff unlocked and I work towards it, so it's kind of fun to play around with the mechanics. And we could do intense combat, but I just want to show off a little bit more of the stealth options in regards to moving around within the world. But we are going to have to actually start cutting these guys down in a sec here. I think we're out of poison darts. We do have our bow, so we could shoot this guy in the head, but it's going to be more fun to do the chain assassination on these guys. And then we get the dual assassination option. So that's cool. So we see this guy's got a shield ability. Oh, there's the skull thing I was talking about. So he's going to be completely distracted, and we're actually able to easily get those attacks on him while he's not paying attention like that guy was with us. So in the game, there's a number of different mechanics in regards to the blocking. So you see that red, that means you have to roll to kind of evade it. You see a blue, that means you could do a parry attack. So you see they get like completely blinded by their goal of killing that person. I also have a bit of a fear mechanic on, so they get a little bit scared of me when they run away. You're seeing the shield in the bottom, that's like a special ghost ability, but we won't really talk about that. When you fill it up, you go super intense and you get to cut everybody down. It's really quite awesome, but I think maybe a little bit spoilers too, but it's a cool ability. So we save this guy, can't skip cutscenes, which sucks, but you know, that's life. So we're going to keep moving. We did that objective, and again, just showing off some of the combat as we move through here. And you can block certain abilities as you level up your skills, like I mentioned. If you want to have new options. Oh, wow, I hate those things. Oh, yeah. Those eagles are annoying. So now they know I'm here. So we've got this guy with a shield. So that means we want to have the water stance because we want to break his quote-unquote shield that shows above his head. That's not showing for that. This guy is. But you see how we shattered that shield ability? So that's what we want to have when we're taking these guys out when we're playing them. So this is a sword guy. Oh, there we go. That was the parry, was the blue. So we want to deal with that. Oh, we lost, though, because the hostages were killed, which was part of our mission. Oops. Great. So the game also has a really fair checkpoint system, I guess I should mention, which is kind of neat. But yeah, we got to be careful because we don't want the hostages to get executed because that's kind of against our primary mission. But I hope this was kind of helpful in regards to like showing off various mechanics of movement, understanding the key base options in the game. I will mention there's obviously fast traveling because this is an open world game. So if you have a place that you've already been, like a town, you can click triangle to fast travel, which is super helpful. But I think that kind of goes over the base mechanics. Know your stances, learn your stances, get used to the combat. If you can, use your stealth when possible. And if you can't, learn the abilities in order to cut down your opponents as you're playing within the game. Of course, with it being easier after you've done stuff. And, of course, difficulty too. If you are having a lot of trouble with the game, there's no shame in like going into a lower difficulty just to kind of enjoy things. Come on, let me through. Because we don't want this person to get killed. And you can also assassinate guys if they're not looking at you, which is kind of super helpful. Because there are moments where there are large groups of basically enemies and teammates fighting each other. You can get into the mix and kind of stealthily assassinate guys, which is super helpful. These birds. Jeez. Anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this look at Ghost of Tsushima. I hope you found it semi-helpful in regards to understanding the mechanics and the gameplay, the movement, the combat, and at least make it, I guess, a little bit more helpful in regards to going into the world. And you could easily, get in there. You could throw a kunai if I had them. I kind of wish I did. I guess I actually need to use my stance. I just want to have a hard time parrying there. But you see that was the health bar. So we do actually have to protect this person before they get killed, because we don't want that to be on our hands. We could also do a critical strike, but there's a parry attack, and then we get the full adventure, or the full stagger, and it's a big advantage to you when that does occur. Yeah, and generally, I hope that helped with movements, how you can move in the game, and generally the different styles of play that are present within it. Prove your character, prove your legend, and be a ghost.
You're going to be all right.